All right, beginners, so moving on to geography. Our title for today is direction. All right, so let's jump onto it. All right, it says, God being the creator of all things, because what, did he just create one thing? No, he created everything. So God being the creator of all things gave us the first compass, using the sun and the stars. Where do we learn that? Wait one moment. We learned that from where? We learned that in literature, because what did Columbus use? He used a compass, something called a compass, and he also used what? He used the sun and the stars, and he was able to find his way on the ship, how to get home and how to sail to other places using what? The sun and the stars. So God being the creator of all things gave us the first compass, using the sun and the stars. Only from the knowledge of his creation, man was able to make a compass. So that means because God, let me put it this way. Everything that man makes, remember how we talked about, does man create things? No, man doesn't create things. Man can make things, but man cannot create things. To create something is to make something out of nothing. Because what? Only God could do that. God was, he was here and he said, let there be sun, and there was sun. Let there be light, and there was light. Let there be, let there be plants throughout the land, and what? There was plants throughout the land. Let there be a man, and there was a man. God was able to speak words, and things were able to create or to appear out of nothing, to make what he had spoken. Now, can man do that? Can I say, I really want a teacup chihuahua, and a teacup chihuahua would appear? No, that won't happen. All right, but what can we do? We can take the things that God has made to make other things. So look at the paper. What is paper made of? Did you know paper is made out of trees? Yeah, paper, men chops down trees, and then we flatten it, and we chop it up, and we flatten it, and we end up making very thin slices, and this is made from a what? From a tree. So we're able to take the things that God has given us and make them into other things, like your desk, or make them into floor, or make paint used to be made out of berries. All right, if we take what God has given us and make other things. So what did God give man for a compass? He gave man the sun and the stars. And now we use that for what? To find our way using a compass. We can still find our way through the sun and stars. It's a lot difficult because you have to learn all the sun and the stars way of finding things. But now we have something called a compass. It looks like this right here. And we're gonna learn about it in just a little bit, and we're gonna find out how to use a compass, because we're learning about what? Geography, the globe. We wanna know where things are at. All right, so it says compass. A compass tells us which way we are traveling, whether it's north, south, east, or west. And we're gonna come back to that in just a minute. But before we learn more about the compass, we're gonna go ahead and learn about our globe right here, and a couple different things about our globe. So see, we have a globe, just like on your paper. It has what? It has stripes going down. It has stripes going sideways. It has a line going across that's dotted. Okay, but all of these lines have a name, and we use this name to find our way through the land, through the world. All right, if you become a pilot when you grow up, what's a pilot gonna do? They have to learn the names of these lines, because the pilot is gonna use that to find his way home, where to land. If you become a cruise captain, or maybe a fisherman, and you are on a boat, you have to learn how to read these lines so you can what? Find your way home. All right, so let's start with our first one. Right here on the bottom, it says equator. Can you say equator? That sounds like a funny word. And right next to it says, think the belly button of the earth. So, that's weird, a belly button of the world. Think of it this way. If we have a person, a little human being right here on the board. All right, this is his head, his hand, all right, his legs, his other legs. All right, this is my little person right here. His belly button is where? Right here, right? Now, if this was a gingerbread boy, all right, if he's a cookie and his belly button is right here and we were to cut them in half, it'd be half. If you want to cut the cookie in half and you want to make sure it's equal, you would where? Cut it at the belly button, the cookie, the gingerbread man. All right, no, he's not happy, we're gonna eat him, but he's a gingerbread man, it's okay. All right, so the world also has a belly button, which is called the equator. So looking at our globe right here, see this line that goes all the way across the earth? This is the equator, this is the belly button of the earth. So if we split the earth in half, this would be the top half and this would be the bottom half. So say equator. The think belly button of the earth. Say with me, equator. Belly button of the earth. Now, is that the only name we need to learn? No, because now that we've split the earth in half, the equator, there's a what? A top half and there's a bottom half. All right, and our top half up here at the very, very top right up here, see where this circle is? This has a name and this name is called North Pole. If you guys like paying attention to Christmas stories, a lot of times you hear Santa lives in the North Pole. He doesn't live in the North Pole. But this is where it would be at, right up here, the North Pole. All right, so if there's a North Pole, there has to be what? A South Pole. Where would the South Pole be? If the North Pole is at the very, very top, where do you think the South Pole would be? At the very, very bottom. Good job. So right here on your paper, right next to the dotted line, if you're group A, you can trace the words. If you're group B, you can write out the words. And the first word you're gonna write is equator right here next to the line. All right, see that dotted line? All right, and I'll go ahead and post this up at the end just so you guys can see it so we can move along so the video's not too long. All right, and so what's at the top? If this is the equator, this is what? The North Pole, excellent. And if there's a North Pole at the very top, that means at the bottom there's what? There's a South Pole. So the South Pole is at the very, very bottom over here. All right. Now there's too much. There's two more words that you'll hear more of when you're older, but just so we can hear them a little bit, we have something called a latitude, say latitude, and a longitude. And see how there's lines all on our globe? The lines that go up like this are our longitude lines. Say longitude up. See how they go up? And get your finger and trace the line up. Say longitude. Excellent job. And our lines that go across, see how there's lines that go across? Those are what? Our latitude lines right here. Latitude. So get your finger and drag it across. All right, so let's do this together. Get your finger, point to the belly button of the earth, the equator. Excellent. Point to the North Pole, South Pole, longitude, latitude. Excellent job. North Pole, South Pole, equator, latitude, longitude, equator, North Pole, South Pole, equator. Great job. All right, so there's a lot of different words that we have to learn, right? Now, we don't have to learn them very, very well. These are words that once you get older, you're gonna expand even more on them and you're gonna hear them more and you're gonna do studies with these words and they're really gonna sink in. But just so it's not a surprise for you when you're in upper grade, you're hearing them right now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and post a picture of this. I'll zoom in. Go ahead and press pause right here so you can write your longitude, latitude, North Pole, South Pole, and equator lines. Great job. All right, so now moving on to our compass. So you should have a little piece of paper like this, and this is called a compass. All right, and right here it says what? A compass tells us which way we are traveling, whether it's north, like the North Pole, whether it's south, like the South Pole, whether it's east, west, or someplace in between. So I had a really fun project for you. If you see right here on this phone, if your parents have an iPhone, you should have a compass on their phone. If your parents don't have an iPhone, you may have to download the app. All right, but this is right here is a compass. This is something that pilots use. This is something that men that work in the sea with boats use. All right, this is something that people that go hiking or traveling, they use something just like this. All right, and if you open it up, it has these little white lines, and it has a red line, and the red line's constantly moving. See how it's moving right here? It's not constantly moving, but it tells us which way is north. So the north, sorry, it's moving a lot actually. All right, so maybe I need to hold it properly. Okay, so if I have my compass like this, see this little red line right here? The little red line has what? The letter N right there. That means north. So that's telling me that north is what? North was at the top, so north is up. So that means across from north is what? South. See the S? South. So you should have one like this. All right, so right here we learned about what? The North Pole. And North Pole is what? Show me a line going up. The North Pole is up. So this is N for north. All right, and what's down? What goes all the way down? South Pole. So what should be down? Let's see. S is for what? South. Not South Pole, but just south. So north, south. And then we have something else called east and west. All right, so this is north, this is south, this is east, and this is west. Just like right here, north, south, east, west. And if you really want to be creative, there's some people that made a way to memorize this. You say, never eat soggy waffles. But we won't get into all of that. All right, so one thing I want you guys to know about compass, that if you Google compass on a phone or computer, a lot of times you have this really neat little design right here, if you know this. They all look very different. Some may not have as much spikies as this one, but if you know this, the reason they have this is because what did it tell us our first compass was? That's right, the sun and the stars. And what does that look like right here? Yeah, that looks like almost like a sun or a star. All right, so I thought that was very neat. So we have north, we have east, we have south, and we have west. All right, show me north. Good, north is N. Show me south. South is what? At the bottom. Show me east, E. Good job, east, E. Show me west, W. Excellent job. So what we're gonna do is there just north, south, east, and west? There's actually more if we were to break it down. You see, in between these two, we would combine the names. So in between north and east, it'd be northeast. So we have what? North, east, south, and west. North is what? Pointing up. We have east pointing east. All right, we have south pointing down, and we have west pointing what? To the other side. All right, so I drew a little compass right here. It's not the best, but it'll have to do. So we have north, east, south, west. All right, and we have what? Do you see how we have these little arrows pointing up at these letters? See, and mine are pointing at these letters. The black ones are pointing at the letters. Now we have what? We have another pair. We have some red ones in between. You know why? Because we can actually break down, we can get these two names and put them together. So if this is north and this is east, what is this called right here? What is this little empty space? Does it have a name? It does. And this is northeast. So right here, you're gonna write northeast, just like this one right here, northeast, in between. So if in between the E and the N is northeast, all right, this is pointing at northeast. And then right here we have an empty space between the S and the E. What do you think that is? Southeast. Good job. S-E, southeast. So now we have WS. What's in between west and south? Southwest. Good job. And then in between north and west, we have what? Northwest. Oops, go ahead, northeast again. Northwest, just like that. So I'm gonna give you some time and you can fill in your compass like this. So we have north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest. Excellent job. So now what you can do is you can take a break and you can color your compass very beautifully. All right, you do an excellent job. Make sure you don't scribble. Remember, we go in one direction. We stay in the lines as best we can. It's so important that we try to stay in the lines as much as possible. All right, we always do a work unto the Lord. All right, so now that we have this, we're gonna have some fun. And what we're gonna do now that we have, to kind of help us memorize where things are at, we have a paper that looks like this. Let me zoom in a little bit closer for you. All right, so we have a paper and it says reading maps. Read the sentence and use your compass to label the directions below. So we have our compass right here. So I'm gonna put my compass right next to it. Oops, let me use this. All right, so if you know this, I already have a little compass in the middle that I made. Okay, just to kind of help us right here. And I have these little dots to divide where things are at. Okay, so, our first sentence says, I messed up on this first sentence, it should say are, it should say is, my bad. All right, number 1, the ship is blank and heading blank. So let's look for the ship. Where does it have a ship in our map? We have mountains, we have a forest, we have fish, and we have our ship right here. Go ahead and put your finger on the ship. Excellent job. So it says the ship is what? Well, let's see, the ship is right here. And if you look closely on your map, right in each corner, we have, it's labeled as well. So down is what? South. Up is north. To the side is west. What is in between south and west? Southwest. Good job. So we're gonna write the ship is southwest. I wrote too big, sorry. Mine came off the page. It's okay if yours does too. Because what? We have south going down, west here. So in between where the ship is, it's southwest. Now it says the ship is southwest and is heading where? Where is the ship going? Let's see, let's follow his little trail map. He's heading where? Up top, and what is up here? North, good job. So the ship is heading north. Excellent job. Let's do one more together, okay? The mountains are, where are the mountains? Let's see, I see a forest, I see a lake, the mountains. Well, let's see, east is right here, north is up here, and the mountains are what? They are northeast, see? Northeast, we can get our compass and even help us like this. We can put it right here, and the mountains, see northeast, and the mountains, it all adds up. So our mountains are what? North, east. Excellent job. Oops, I'm sorry. All right, so our mountains are northeast. Okay, so go ahead and you can work on your paper with a parent or a sibling. Take your time, all right? And I will post, so go ahead and pause it here, work on your paper, or you can turn it off right here. At the end of this video, in just a couple seconds, I will post a picture. If you weren't able to find some of them, maybe you're working on it alone, I'll post a picture so you can see where everything was at and see if you got it correct. All right, if you're group A, go ahead and trace them all. Before you trace them, ask your parent to say, where's northeast? And then try to find the place and point at it, and then go ahead and trace it. If you're group B, go ahead and find it, and then write out north, east, south, and west. All right, great job.